the evil. Empowerment to all my people. I can prove to you I'm a leader. Run through the money, no visa.
Essentially the same thing as if Shockwave discovered the Godzillaverse. I do think Wheeljack would actually handle things a lot differently here. Considering the fact we're talking about the scientist version of Wheeljack and not the record version of Wheeljack. Albeit that was, it was one of the cooler versions in Transformers Prime. But honestly, I prefer the scientific version because, again, this is when Wheeljack achieved so much and achieved such great things here. It's the fact that Wheeljack has an IQ that actually matches the likes of Shockwave and sometimes even surpassing it to the point where they can actually consider each other, competitors. I consider Wheeljack kind of like the Tony Stark in that verse, with actually much more success. I do believe he's smarter than Tony Stark. I actually think he would be smarter than Reed Richards in all the aspects here. I even consider Shockwave kind of like that Doctor Doom of the Transformers verse and consider him smarter. But how would Wheeljack approach the Godzillaverse? Well, I think he would discover it through Chelatran. Considering the fact that Godzilla was in Marvel and Transformers were also a part of Marvel at the time, and the fact that Wheeljack and Ratchet are known for as the OG, as the true creators of the Dinobots here, creating a being such as Grimlock himself here, which you guys already seen on my channel plenty of times here on how powerful Grimlock is here and how powerful of a creation he basically is of Wheeljack. I mean, the Dinobots in general were able to fight against the entire Autobot force in a 5 against many. These Autobots also had like Omega Supreme and stuff on their side, and the Dinobots were actually holding their own until Skylinks arrived to take most of them down here. But then the Technobots showed up and pretty much took on helped the Grimlock defeat Skylinks in a way. But again, these guys were pretty much holding their own, even beating Autobots and Decepticons in close quarters, long range. You had Snarl fighting against Megatron one-on-one, had Grimlock taking down Shockwave and being able to pretty much hold up Optimus Prime here. Then the Technobots came in and kind of just like put a halt to all of that. Like it kind of just swung it in their favor. Plus, they were originally supposed to be a combiner anyway, and then Power of the Primes just kind of, added on to that fuel in general here. So the fact that these guys are able to combine and even fight against characters like Primacon and Abominus. Alright, this Abominus was actually capable of going toe-to-toe with Megatron Supreme. This is a Megatron that is pretty much enhanced by Omega Supreme, pretty much a Megatron with Omega Supreme's power level and body. I think if you understand how Wheeljack created these beings here and how powerful they are, and the fact that they're still, I guess you could say, kind of loyal to him. I mean, the Technobots are more loyal to Grimlock than they are other combiners. But in all honesty, if Wheeljack discovered his verse here, I can see Optimus Prime having him take a team with him. Hound, Springer would be a good one. Prowl, we definitely get to see Prowl again in this one. Prowl, Ultra Magnus, Scattershot, characters that would be good to take along with them. By the way, this is actually Fall Cybertron concept art that of characters that never got to make it into the game, as in story-wise. But honestly, like the Amazing Spino here, I think I have to give that person, I have to give him or her, whichever one it is, the most credit for this artwork here. I mean, obviously, it's his artwork, right? I mean, look at the detail here. I mean, honestly, this feels like more of a Wheeljack creation than Shockwave in the last video. I do think Shockwave would try to pick more lethal Transformers, while Wheeljack would definitely create, I think, the ones we see here before us out of, its necessity. And plus, this is more of a Wheeljack thing than Shockwave, considering the fact that he made the Dinobots in the first place, and then when the Dinobots got aligned, he also made Swoop. I think it was like, what was it, Swoop and Snarl, like right after that, to fight against the other Dinobots. So again here, yeah. And honestly, I felt like they could have made more. We could have added, Wheeljack could have created a whole new species of Dinobots. You know, adding different dinosaurs. Imagine if he discovered Plesiosaurus or a Therizinosaurus. I'm telling you, a Therizinosaurus as a Dinobot would be pretty cool. It would be amazing. Please do it. Please do it. Please do it in the future, people. Please do it. But yeah, these guys are just insane. I do think Wheeljack would start off by studying them. You know, studying how they behave here. Now we'll consider this is like a composite Godzilla verse here. So we got the MonsterVerse, the IDW verse just mangled and mashed together, and the kaijus just kind of like balance each other out here. He would look at certain kaiju, and you know, he would be like, okay. He would be taking mental notes down, like Ultra Magnus and, you know, Prowl would be basically be like security for him. And we'll add the Dinobots. Let's add the Dinobots with them so that they have a lot more firepower and a lot more, and a way to subdue the kaiju in order to get some DNA samples anyway. So add that with the tactical prowess of Prowl, who I actually think, again, is a better strategist than even Optimus. And also has a combiner core, so he could also possibly combine with Volcanicus, albeit the Dinobots probably won't let him. And I do believe that some of these beasts or some of these, kaiju would definitely get picked off. All right. I do think Amalok, Tiamat, and Akika are good picks here. And definitely Amalok, considering I think Wheeljack will like the telekinesis, the elasticity, and the floral control here. Same with the kaiju that Amazing Spinal made. Those are kind of obvious. Gorosaurus and, multiple other kaiju would just be made here. I can never see Mothra. Okay. Gamera. I think Gamera would be a very interesting one. I think Gamera would probably get chosen for the IQ, the extreme defense it has, plus that spinning shell. I think would definitely sell Wheeljack. Like, yeah, hey, let me get some of your DNA real quick. Okay, thank you. Mothra, definitely for like medical purpose. She would definitely be like the medic of the team here. Also the more magical sorcery type one. Amalok, like I said earlier, would definitely be a good pick here. I mean, this dude is just built different. Pick any kaiju that would have, poisonous abilities, or that translates to corrosive acids. Maybe some type of reality warp. These kaiju probably have a lot of abilities. Orochi would definitely be chosen. I think Wheeljack would go crazy with that one, giving the heads like different elemental blasts or whatever. Quetzalcoatl, probably because it's possible that Quetzalcoatl can bend light as well, light and death. So again, they're pretty impressive. I think it would be impressive if Wheeljack got a hold of characters like Ghidorah's DNA, make Ghidorah a transformer that would try to take over the others or would try to usurp his command or Grimlock's command. Sanda and Goriah would basically be like the Sideswipe and Sunstreaker of the Transformers again. Hedorah, yeah, I don't see how he would pass that up. He might even study Hedorah's biology to see if he can use it in the war against the Decepticons. Now add that with the Dinobots, the Computron, the other combiners, Superion, Defensor, Skylynx, Victorion, Volcanicus, and then you could have a big event with like Metroplex and Omega Supreme. You could say like the Autobots are just on the verge of winning this war here. It's all the combiners against all the combiners. We have Metroplex against Trypticon. We got Omega Supreme fighting against Devastator and maybe like two other combiners, because I think that the Decepticons definitely have more combiners. So you could say like Devastator and Bruticus basically like jump Omega Supreme here, while you have other Decepticons, and then Shockwave just summons this newly improved version of Trypticon that starts wiping them all out. Goes toe to toe with Metroplex, beats him, beats Omega Supreme, just starts winning the entire battlefield, and then Grimlock is trying to convince the these kaiju bots, or these kaiju bots to become also Dinobots as well, and pretty much have them join him. But that doesn't work, and he has to fight them for dominance. Basically, like, if I beat you, you have to side with us, and you have to help us. We'll say King Caesar is the one in charge of this group. He fights Grimlock. He loses. And they go to, finish the entire war off, and then we could have an ending where Grimlock and the rest of these new Dinobots pretty much just go and leave here. Or when they get in the battlefield, the Triptychon fight is getting so intense that they all decide to combine into a new transformer here, and just give Wheeljack to be something to be proud of once they leave the battlefield and head to Dinobot Island. This is Legendary Ghidorah, and I'll see you guys later.